everybody. It's Daniel here, and welcome to Emotional English Podcast, the podcast where you learn English language effortlessly, emotionally, full-filled with energy, and of course, positively. Welcome, everybody. Today, I've prepared another podcast episode for you guys, the podcast where we will discuss the news in levels. So I'm going to use the website www.newsinlevels.com with one of the stories there. It's the story about social media and our health. So what is social media, you can ask briefly. And I can say very simply, social media, it's the platforms we're using today. VK.com, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of these are social medias and how it relates to our health. So the connection is very simple. So we spend a lot of time in social media and our health going bad. I mean, we are going to the very hard state where our health is really changes to the bad direction. So I'll discuss this topic with you guys today, and we will discuss this news with level number 2. So on the website, newsinlevels.com, you can choose which level you prefer to read the story about. For example, you can choose the level 1, and it's going to be like a pre-intermediate, beginner level number 2 for intermediate students, and level number 3 for upper intermediate and advanced students. So you can choose your level and you can read the news on the website. But it's not all. I want to announce a couple events coming up very, very soon. So I'm going to Moscow in June, in the end of June. And I want to say a couple words that my first event will be in June 28th, I guess. So on June 28th, I'm arriving to Moscow, and I want to make an event in the great place. It's a location called Dojo Number 1 in the Moscow City Center. So that's going to be our first event there. I will upload and I will update all the news very soon with the address and everything. But it's a Dojo Number 1 in the Moscow City Center. And another I would say that another event will be in the beginning of July. So it's going to be July 8th, I guess. So on July 8th or 7th, let me double check. I need to double check this, guys. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. So 7th of July and 28th of June. Yes. So 28th of June, it's about 5 p.m. Moscow time. We will meet and we will speak English at the location of Dojo Number 1, and the 28th of June. And the 7th of July, I want to meet in the park if the weather is good. So we go to the park. If the weather is not good, so probably we'll be somewhere else. I will announce very soon. Just follow my Emotional English Telegram group for updates, and let's stay in touch. So I'll inform you ASAP about the upcoming updates. So let's go to our podcast episode. It's the episode we are starting and learning today. So social media and our health. I'm going to read these couple paragraphs and then we will discuss the vocab step by step and learn some more English for today, isn't it? So let's begin. In Charleville, Australia, 18-year-old Geordie serves coffee while using social media a lot. She used to be online for 7 or 8 hours daily, mostly on TikTok and Snapchat. Now she spends around 5.5 hours a day. Geordie reduced her time on social media because of bullying. Also, she felt that she needed to look perfect. Boys at her school told her to kill herself on TikTok, which was very upsetting. Despite this, Geordie found it hard to stop using social media. She was afraid that she would miss out on something important. Dr. Werner Seidler studies how social media affects teen mental health. She says that we need more data from tech companies. These companies have safety rules, but people don't always follow them. Geordie supports stronger rules for social media. She's grateful that her mom helped her to reduce screen time. That's the end of our story. And now I'm going to start with sentence by sentence storytelling, and we will discuss each content part piece by piece, chunk by chunk. Okay? So I'm going to read the first part, and then I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. And you need to answer me because we are kind of practicing the feedback today. So I'm going to ask you some questions. You try to listen to me carefully and then give me the feedback wherever you are today, no matter what's going on. Just give me the answer. Don't worry about the environment you are in. So don't worry. So in Charville, Australia, 18-year-old Geordie serves coffee while using social media a lot. So we have a girl or a boy here. Yeah. So a girl probably, right? So her name is Geordie. Geordie. Where is Geordie from? Geordie's from Australia. Australia, it's the country, and there is a city there, right? It's called Charville. Charville, Australia. So who is from Charville, Australia? Geordie is from Charville, Australia. How old is Geordie? She is 18, right? She's 18 years old. So, and she does have a job, isn't she? She does have a job, you're right. What does she do? She does serve coffee. She does serve coffee. It means she's probably a barista. Barista or a waitress, right? So she serves coffee while using social media a lot. So she has a problem, isn't it? What is her problem? Her problem, Geordie's problem, that she's using social media a lot. It means a lot of hours, right? So she is serving, she is working, and she's always, on some kind of platform, right? On Facebook, on VK, on news, right? Whatever. She's just reading something, right? She is consuming information. So she used to be online for 7-8 hours daily, mostly on TikTok and Snapchat. Okay. So what platforms does she use the most? Probably, it's mostly TikTok and Snapchat. What is TikTok? TikTok, it's a platform for very, very short messages for videos, right? So you just watch TikTok with the funny small videos there. And Snapchat, it's something similar, but it's like a chat in America, which is very popular one with an AI functions there. You can make very cool videos with a Snapchat. You can record them and then just send these videos to friends and whatever. So Snapchat is very popular in the US, but not very popular in Russia. We use Telegram the most. So TikTok and Snapchat, she uses the most. How many hours daily she uses TikTok and Snapchat? She uses Snapchat and TikTok for 7 and 8 hours daily. That's a lot. That's almost a full working day. That's a lot. That's her problem. Whose problem? It's a Geordie's problem, right? Geordie from where? From Australia, right? And how old is she? Yeah, kind of teenager, right? 18-year-old lady. Okay. So she's from Australia. I'm not sure. Is Australia has the rule that you cannot drink alcohol from 21? I know that in America, you cannot drink from 18-year-old. You can smoke, but you cannot drink alcohol. So let's continue deeper, shall we? Now, Geordie spends around 5.5 hours a day. So now she spends more time on social media, or now she spends less time on social media. Yeah, that's right. Now she spends less time on social media. It's about how many hours less? 1.5, 2.5 hours less, right? So she was using social media for 7-8 hours daily. Now she uses it for 5.5 hours daily. It means 5 hours, 30 minutes. So it's still a lot, right? Let's say for sure. That's pretty big number, but she's getting better. So Geordie reduced her time on social media because of bullying. So why did she reduce her time on social media? She had another problem, right? What was it? Yeah, there was another problem. The problem was bullying problem, right? She didn't stop. Yeah, she reduced her time on social media for a reason, and that reason was bullying. What is bullying? Bullying, it's a very bad thing. So when you start being annoying and you start, being very aggressive to other people, and you start name calling them, you start using swearing words, you start disturbing many people around. That's called bullying, right? You're trying to be annoying, and people dislike you for such reasons like bad words, or just name calling, or using swearing language, and that's called bullying. And people kind of troll. People trolled her, and that is why she decided to reduce her time on social media. Yeah, she was trolled. She has been trolled a lot, and that's the same as bullying. Trolling is a bullying, right? So you just need to make sure that you know that. Right. Who was bullied a lot? Jordy. Of course, Jordy. Why Jordy was bullied a lot? She was bullied a lot because she was using her social media for many, many hours, and people trolled her, mocked her and bullied her a lot about that. So, and she decided to reduce her time on social media in the reason of that type of bullying. And that was not all. She felt that she needed to look perfect, all right? She felt that she needed to look perfect. And boys at her school told her to kill herself on TikTok, which was very upsetting. Yeah, she felt very depressive. Very upsetting, it means very bad. She was feeling not good about the boys saying to her that she needed to kill herself live on TikTok. So nobody wants that. And it was very upsetting to hear that somebody, saying bad things in the direction of hers, right? Nobody wants that. And despite this, Jordy found it hard to stop using social media. So it was a problem for Jordy to stop using social media, or it was not a problem. Yeah, that was a kind of problem for her, right? For Jordy. It was a problem for Jordy to stop using social media. And she said openly, she found it hard. She found it hard to stop using social media. Who found it hard to stop using social media? Jordy, right? And who is Jordy? That's the 18-year-old with an addiction. What kind of addiction she had? Do you remember? She still has, probably. Yep. That's an addiction related to using social media websites. Yep. What kind of social media? TikTok, Snapchat, right? YouTube. Yeah, probably. So all of that. Despite this, Jordy found it very hard to stop using social media. And she was afraid that she would miss out on something important. So what does it mean? She was afraid that she would miss out on something important. It means that she was scared. She was scared that she would lose some kind of data, important data. She would miss out on something. Miss out on something. It's like when something is hyping, right? You have a big fear that you would miss it. And you don't want to miss it. That's why she was kind of afraid that she would miss out something very important. And she was always online, right? She was always reading things. She was always, vibing with new, updated, memes and everything. So she was didn't like the idea to miss out on something, right? That was the main idea. So that's the first paragraph of our mini story. It's not over, right? Because Jordy is still kind of, working out on things. And next we have next paragraph with a doctor recommendation or analysis. The Dr. Werner Seidler, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, I hope, Dr. Werner Seidler studies. So she learned things and she has a research, right? She made a research, this type of doctor. She made a research. She studied how social media affects teen mental health. So she made a research how social media kind of destroys the teenager's lifestyle and mental health. You have two types of health, right? Your physical health and your mental health. Physical health, it's the health of your body, and mental health, it's your mental energy, it's your mind health, right? It's your emotions, it's your brain. So if your brain functions in a weird way, there is a reason of this, right? Maybe your mental concentration lost. So that's a reason of mental disability, right? When you have a physical problem, let's say you have a headache, right? It's a physical pain. That's a physical problem of your body, right? So two directions, mental health and physical health. And Dr. Werner Seidler, she studies something. What did she study? Can you remind me? Yeah. So she studies social media affects teen mental health thing, right? So she kind of looking for a correlation between social media and mental health. What does it mean, correlation? Correlation, it's like similarities. Or, while people using social media, they are experiencing some mental troubles, right? And she got the age group of teens, and she's studying this area, and she has some feedbacks. She has some results on it, right? She says that we need more data from tech companies, right? She says that tech companies needed to provide us some information about using their platforms probably. These companies have safety rules, she says, but people don't always follow them. And it is true. So many companies, they have these agreements, these regulations, these policies, right? These rules, how to use their platforms, but we're not following it because we choose to be addicted, I would say, right? So people say, don't play computer games too much. You can play only for an hour, but people play for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, right? That is very dangerous. And I experience this sometimes when I play, let's say, Minecraft. I can start from 1 hour and then I can play for 2 or 3 hours. And this is not healthy. So you should cut it off. So you just diverse your time into something interesting, let's say this podcast editing, and that's more productive. Now you live life, not just imagining that you're doing something in the computer game, right? So these companies, different tech companies, they have different safety rules, but people don't follow them. And so our doctor is saying that it's very important to follow these rules, to not be so addicted. But Jordy supports stronger rules for social media as well. And she's grateful that her mom helped her reduce screen time. So what does it mean that her mom is helping her reduce screen time? It means her mom is helping her to cut off her addiction, to stop using many websites and reduce screen time. And I think the best solution is just to get rid of your mobile phone device and do not use your mobile phone for a whole day without any important purpose, right? So while your mobile phone is on, it must sit somewhere until it rings. When it not rings, you do not touch it, right? That's kind of rule for avoiding and reducing your screen time, okay? So that's all. That's the second paragraph. So let's read paragraph by paragraph again, and then we'll just see this logic together, right? So let's read it together again. In Charville, Australia, 18-year-old Jordy serves coffee while using social media a lot. She used to be online for 7-8 hours daily, mostly on TikTok and Snapchat. Now she spends around 5.5 hours a day. Jordy reduced her time on social media because of bullying. Also, she felt that she needed to look perfect. Boys at her school told her to kill herself on TikTok, which was very upsetting. Despite this, Jordy found it hard to stop using social media. She was afraid that she would miss out on something important. Dr. Werner Seidler studies how social media affects teen mental health. She says that we need more data from tech companies. These companies have safety rules, but people don't always follow them. Jordy supports stronger rules for social media. She's grateful that her mom helped her reduce screen time. Man, and I just realized I've read the whole thing. So I've read both first and second paragraph. So when the doctor starts discussing, so that's the second paragraph, when the story just starts, about Charville, Australia, about Jordy, that's the first paragraph, right? Yeah. And that was the mini story from News in English, guys. So we've discussed a couple things. We discussed what is bullying, right? It's when people try to do bad things into your, following your direction. They're just name calling. They're doing some pushes. They're tormenting people. This is a not good thing to do. It's like trolling, and people feel upset about this. And we discussed the mental health, right? That our mental health goes bad when we use social media for a long time. And we discussed the word about screen time, right? So when we reduce our screen time, we improves our mental health because we do not connect with social media, and we protect our brain from extra information damage, right? We actually can consume good information. Let's say we can read good books, or we can read some stupidity and nonsense media, which is kind of damaging our mental health and our physical health. Probably no, physically probably not, but mentally for sure. Okay, that's all. And again, I want to say that I'm going to have another event of Emotional English very soon. It's the 28th of June, right, in Moscow. The dojo number 1, it's the name of the club in the Moscow City Center. Just go to emotionalenglish.ru to reserve your seats, and then let's stay in touch. If you have any questions, just send me the message to my Telegram. And that's all for today, guys. Thank you to work. Thank you for your participation on our podcast episode. So I'll see you very soon, and have an amazing time with your English progression. So have a great day, and let's stay in touch. Bye-bye.